Right. Yeah, no more people. But I think everybody. Oh my god. Oh, I can't. Hello. Hi. Hello.
Oh, are you okay?
I've been overworking myself. I'm good.
Oh. Maybe drink some water or something?
I'm okay.
Alrighty. You might as well head over.
Yeah, we should probably.
See ya.
See ya. Oh boy. Oh. There's an annoying, strange black and white hair person. Okay, then. This debate's going to be huge. I really don't want any of this happening. It's gonna change. This is gonna change. Everything's gonna change. I know it. I have such a bad feeling. I need to stop worrying. I need to have guts. I need to have grits. I need to put on my bandit face. Yeah. I let that slip when my fear took over. But I don't know, I'm being stuck in the water. Alright. Oh goodness, already a lot of people has joined. Okay. Okay. Sit over here.
Looks like it.
Well, I'm going on ahead.
Okay.
Alright.
About knocking off a few points, and well, I have quite a bit to say if certain words get brought up.
Oh, phone's saying hi.
Howdy.
Hey!
We made it.
Hey, it's been a bit.
Hey,
The
how's
day's
my
a
fellow
big day,
candidates
huh?
doing?
Welcome to
Yes,
Haven,
very
everybody.
It's
Once
very much a good
again.
day.
Hey, Soul.
Welcome back, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm digging that. Yo, you got a new outfit? That's an off-shoulder dress, ain't it?
Yes, I do.
Or is this the same thing that I saw you in last time?
Yeah, it's the same thing I was in last time.
Aw, look at my little boy. Who's looking dapper? You're
We
looking
can go ahead
dapper.
and take our stands at our podiums.
And I see that the villagers gave you your own special crown. Well, technically speaking, you know, you're a prince in my eyes. Aw. Why don't you go take a seat with your cousin?
Okay.
We're about to start, you know.
Mhm.
And no taking the cake, and no taking the cake.
Are we missing
Wait.
anybody? Hold on a second.
Thinner crowd than last time.
It's
Yeah.
a little thinner, but I mean, we did have to start a little later, but other than that, I think it's fine. I think it's all good.
Why? Everybody else is at the back. I'm kind of actually. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Oh. Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought somebody was on the roof again. Just
Alright,
making
well.
sure.
Alright, well.
I don't see that.
I love how everyone's on one side, almost, and there's just like the two stragglers on this one.
Everybody
You know
has
what?
to
I'll move over here to make it even. There you go.
Alright, there we go.
No.
We love evenness.
Alright.
No,
So we're gonna go
not
ahead
not too close to the cake.
and-
Noi, come sit with me. I'm gonna watch you so you don't.
I know.
even if it's not as big of enough of a crowd as it is last time, nevertheless, welcome.
Here, you can
Alright,
have
so
a cookie. Okay.
Go ahead. and
Cookies.
get
This
started.
stuff probably came up for
Oh.
some people.
Sorry.
Alright.
There you
Let's
go.
see.
That will help you down.
See if this microphone is working again.
Oh.
Hello?
Oh,
Is this thing working?
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
I'm
It's
just making sure it's working.
Oh,
Alrighty then. So, welcome back everybody to Haven. I'm sure the people who have gotten their letters, which by all means should be everybody, has gotten their letter, obviously. I know it's on short notice. It's been 2 days since our 2 or 3 days since our last little get together here. But today is finally the day where we settle this once and for all. Today we're going to find out who is going to take the seat in the Beantopia capital and become what's known as New World President. And afterwards, we're going to have a celebration of the New World Presidency and the newest candidate and family to the New World. I know that's a lot to pack in. I'm kind of coming up with this on the fly, but we're going to be having a debate, which I'm sure all of these
Fun.
candidates are very much ready for. Anything goes in a debate. Don't be surprised if some candidates start to disagree with each other. This is just normal. This is how debates are. I'm sure everybody remembers how they were in the old world, so don't be surprised if something negative or something pushy comes up. That's just the whole point of these, but in the end, we all have the same ambitions, the same goals, and the same outline. So, without further ado, as election overseer and also representative of the Ordo Party, I, Justin Cash himself, welcome you to the New World Election Voting Day. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass over the stand to my sister, Allie. She's gonna come up here and she's gonna take any questions that the audience has in mind. It is up to you to see how this debate goes. So if anybody has a concern or a question, you're free to ask it and Allie will relay it to us. And if someone has anything to say about someone else's statement, then they can very much pitch in. But remember, debates are a little pushy, so don't mind it. Anyways, I'll pass the mantle on to my lovely sister over there.
Thank you. Hello. This is nerve-wracking. So, as my brother said, if you have any questions, I will be happy to direct it to the candidates. So, anyone want to start?
I've got one.
Yes, phone. What is your question?
Well, I've always been curious, but what are your stances on taxation?
Oh, Yuki? Would you like to
Alright.
answer?
Well, when it regards to taxation, I have to be absolutely serious. And I'm looking straight at you, Phone, because I know that you and I both probably have the same stance. When I become president, there will be no taxes. Absolutely no taxes. I don't see the point in it. Honestly, the fact that I will aim for the economy to improve, meaning that taxations will most likely not be a thing. I assure you, you won't have to worry about any form of taxes.
Alrighty. Sky. Your turn.
I have to agree with Yuki. I don't see a need for a tax system as of current.
Okay. Chris.
I mean, taxes don't really stand well with my view of how everything should work, so yeah, no taxes.
Justice.
What can I say? Taxes are, well, let's just say, in my opinion, loitering money. I don't feel the need to charge someone extra just to buy something fair and square. I don't think anybody should be taxed for having a right to live, much like Chris's ambitions of the old world government. There's a huge problem when it comes to it, because not everybody can pay up on that deed. So, as for taxation on trade or anything like that, I would have to agree with everybody else here. No to taxes.
Alrighty. So those are your answers, phone, and for the audience. Is there anyone
you.
else who has questions? Anyone?
Come on, guys, any question?
Yeah,
It could be
no.
anything. A
Anything
concern,
you would
question.
want.
Any concerns? Any
Anything at all.
update? Or any decisions that you think these candidates would do when they're president? No one?
Ah, come on. It can't
I
be.
have
It can't be
one.
that short of a
Oh.
debate.
Lila,
Well,
you have a question?
What will be, well, I mean, to be completely honest, the old world had a lot of corrupt rules and all of that stuff, like laws separating everybody. And I know for a fact there were ones against many different kinds of relationships, races, and all underneath that category. What are your guys' stances on those past laws, and how do you think you're going to make sure that that never happens again, even through the entirety of this crisis? Even if your own views are tried and skewered, how would you combat somebody trying to include one of those laws inside of your system?
All right. That's a very good
It's
question.
a very, very, very good question.
All right. Well, I must say that in terms of the laws such as those that are very unjust with particular sexualities, races, and etc., I do believe that that the laws that I will make when I become president, that despite the fact that we will be adapting them to the old system, I would also like considerations to be made for in terms of adapting to the modern morals or modern era such as now. So I will personally be making some tweaks, and if somebody ever dares try to disrupt that system or disrupt that law, particularly because I'm looking out for the people of the new world, then I will have to decline their thing. I don't care, because honestly, I'm doing this for everybody else. And if I have to make adjustments to the laws in order to make everybody on the world happy, then that is already good enough for me.
Alrighty. Sky?
It's as simple as we're all in this together. If anyone, even if I'm not in power, were to try something like that, I think you can all tell I would be taking a very verbal stand against it.
I see. Okay. Chris?
Along with what Yuki and Sky said, I'm very much against the laws of the old world that did all that. Not going to go into detail with what they did because it's a long list. But I will say that I basically agree with these two. And if anyone were to try and put one of those laws into place that would basically be like one of the old world laws, considering it, I would basically make sure they never could try again.
Okay.
Sounds like a threat.
Justice? Your turn.
Everybody needs to have their voice heard. Everybody matters. It does not matter what you are, no matter what sexuality, gender, race you are, and whatnot. You matter, essentially. Everybody is equal, and that's how it should be. And if I'm ever in office as president or not as president or as an executive, I will definitely fight against discrimination of any kind, because I see a lot of unique people in this crowd, especially amongst this stand right here. And I don't want to see anybody get downed or bullied or discriminated for being a certain way. Everybody matters. Everybody. So I'm with all three of them.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Well, those are your answers, Lila.
Thank you.
And for the audience. Anyone else has a question before anything?
Please, anything that comes to mind, don't feel free to ask. Feel free to ask. We will answer them as best as we can.
Question.
Oh,
Yeah?
yeah. What's your question?
This might be a little bit difficult, but do any of you have any plans on a way to make communication between the villagers more efficient?
Alright, Yuki.
As a matter of fact, there has been a way that me and my co-mayor over here, Justice, has been actually implemented. As you may know, letters have been spreading rather faster now, as you can see, basically because of the development of the villager system. Now, I know that it's still a little bit slow, but I am actually thinking about implementing a system that will make it much faster, which I might actually need the assistance of engineers if there are still in this world. I would like to make mail delivery systems faster, more efficient, get there on time as they should. So I'm actually thinking about that right now, and I will be implementing something like that when I take the position of the new world president.
Alrighty. Sky, your turn.
That is a bit of a hard question with where we're at currently in the world. It is a bit more difficult to make things more efficient. And I really do like what Yuki was saying. But I would like to look into those communication towers a bit more as well.
Alrighty. Chris, your turn.
Well, I personally. So the question was how to make communication through the villagers more efficient, right? Just making sure I got the question right, Soul.
Yes.
Is that a nod? All right, had to make sure. I just want to make sure I got it right. The distance here is a great distance. So the question is that I'm not too sure personally on how we'd get the communication to work well. I feel like we have to talk or like try and like communicate with the villagers more to get an idea of how to actually communicate with them. And I have a question. Yuki, your response didn't really have anything to do with villager communication. It was more of just the mailing system. So I just
How
want
well
to
you see?
pick your nose on
Well,
that
you-
one.
All right. I will answer that for you. So basically, you know Bentley, right?
Yes.
Bentley, my head assistant.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically, I've basically taught him several routes in order for him to take, in order to be able to distribute with villagers. And considering that Bentley has become quite popular recently amongst the villagers, people have been actually listening to him. Therefore, and especially considering that they know about us from the Illager Mansion raid, they've actually, been in debt to us. So that's why the communication between those villagers now, especially the ones here in Haven with Bentley, have been a lot more efficient and faster. And I'm considering actually another form of messenger system as well, despite the fact that we already have the villager system, because I feel like we could do it a little bit more faster and efficient. I'm actually thinking of a project I have in mind when I get implemented into power. But obviously we have to test it out because I do want to get this world back into the industrial age at least when I get into power.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Yeah. I just wanted to hear about that because I was curious.
Don't worry about it.
I'm all good now.
Alrighty. Justice.
Well, obviously the radio towers themselves took quite a bit, and thanks to the help of Bentley and his villagers and the villagers in general, we're one step closer to getting non-stop communication. It's just that we need that final push and whatnot. So, but as for villager communication, I don't think it's out of line for us to help teach them how to speak our language, because they can very much understand it written on paper due to, the gods and all that stuff. Because from what we know, they know our language because of them and, well, what we saw back in the mansion. And so I think one of the first things I want to do if I ever get the seat of president is to definitely teach them how to speak our language, so communication is 10 times more faster now. Because, well, I like writing letters as much as the next person, but having a bunch of villagers and teaching them how to write the same letter over and over again is can kind of keep you up at night.
Implementing a school system would also be nice for villagers, at least.
Very, very
agreed.
much so.
Agreed.
That is actually one of the projects I was talking about.
Oh, nice.
School system.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Those are your answers. Hopefully that's satisfied.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And okay.
Wait,
What?
Sorry.
What is it? What is
Someone on the roof. Oh, someone's on the
There's
roof.
someone
again.
on the roof again. Oh, hey,
Oh, it's
Ellie.
Ellie.
Okay, so does anyone else have any questions? Anyone at all?
Yeah, I've got another one, if you'll hear me.
Oh,
Yeah,
of course.
sure.
What's your
Of
question?
course.
You know, you've got me curious on that project of yours, and I realized, well, the government's got to do something with their time, considering we're not exactly a festering pile of scum. I'm sure there's a lot of free times for great projects, so I'd like to hear you guys talk about your plans of that nature.
Oh, that's an interesting question. Yuki, would you like would you like to answer first?
Well, I have several projects. Which one would he like to hear first? Is what I'm curious about to know as well. Which one would you like to hear first? Economy?
Well, I was thinking we'd go for just a quick Cliff's Notes to see what everyone's got planned in peacetime.
Alright. Well, I am considering. Well, one of the things is the messenger system. I would like to implement a faster means of travel for these messengers so that they can get place to place. I'm sure you're familiar of a particular, considering like it's going to be the equivalent of air travel, basically, is what I'm saying.
Ah, that's a
Air
very
travel.
interesting-
I would like the messengers to be able to do that, at least. If not, maybe perhaps a chain of tracks underground, probably, to keep them safe from mobs.
Am I under the impression that you managed to find the technology for air travel?
That is something that I would like to discuss with an engineer, which is why I'm currently actually asking Bentley to look for one as we speak. Considering that we just discovered new people, I'm pretty sure there's an engineer out there.
That's kind of surprising. I'm surprised you didn't talk to that one engineer that actually came to the meetings that we held. His name
that's
is
the person.
His name is Lalzi. He apparently lives out in New Zealand,
Oh,
where
yeah,
New Zealand used to be.
Oh, you have?
He was,
Can you introduce me?
Yeah, he's building some giant factory out there, and well, I guess that speaks
interesting.
for itself.
he got
That's
lost when he went to
interesting.
Japan, and I saw him. I let him stay at my place for a while until he get back to his own thing.
Plus,
He was
I'm
a nice
already
person.
Plus, I've already been in contact with my wife, who's a software engineer, and well,
Yes. Well,
she's
for that,
she's
you
already
need the
looking into communication as well. So,
Oh yes, we definitely need the communication. Maybe even perhaps producing a few radios to make it a lot easier on everybody. Is what I'm thinking as
I
well.
suppose we can get some tunes out in the new world. I guess.
Ooh, that'd be nice. Having some
Hire some
music.
musicians to get us some music again.
That's if we can get our hands on
Actually-
instruments.
Oh well, not really instruments, but the villagers did show me this neat little thing called they managed to replicate the jukebox.
Oh?
Yeah, they managed to make a replication of a jukebox, but instead it's like a combination of the whole what do you call it? The
Record player?
vinyl, the record
Mhm.
player. It's a
Record player.
combination of a record player and a jukebox at the same time, so it works that way. I've actually seen it in action. It's pretty nice. So yeah, music's a thing now.
I have
Is
found a few discs in my long run, so
Scene. I got one disc. Well,
we consider.
is that your answer?
There's more than that, but I guess this would probably suffice the best, probably.
Alrighty. Sky, your turn.
Sky?
Hello?
Guy.
Sky.
Are you getting cold feet?
Hi.
Are you getting
Sorry.
You okay, Sky?
Yeah. Sorry. It's having a little bit of trouble with my voice today.
You're good.
Communication is a must, as was said. Going back to that. But I would also like to spend a good amount of time reworking our punishment system.
Oh.
Oh.
You mean like the trial?
I was trying not to think about it like that, but yes. I would like to spend a fair amount of my time working with that, trying to rework that. And yeah, there's
How,
more,
though?
but how? Oh, that's something to think about.
Well, feel free to speak your mind. We're all here listening.
You are right. Obviously, determining proper, as I said, I think the last time we were here, determining proper punishments for crimes is probably a good place to start. I don't know what we were thinking with.
You can say it.
You can
with
say it.
death being the punishment for theft. Who thought about this? Come on.
who actually did think of that as punishment. I'm actually kind of curious of who thought of that.
No idea.
Oh, that's rich coming from you, Chrissy.
What does that mean?
Hmm. I plead
What's
the
that
fifth.
supposed to mean?
Okay.
I'd like to just make a little bit of a statement. The decision on capital punishment was a decided decision amongst all of the table. No one in their right mind would just automatically take the position of leader and implement a system like that. Everybody was for that system, and we all know it. No one thought to rebut that statement except for my sister. So it's a matter of, well, it's all on us. But it's up to us to fix that.
Of course. Proper punishments must go to the appropriate acts of crime in accordance to leniency. Severe cases must be dealt with severe cases. Minor cases, minor punishments.
Exactly.
Something that the New World Order definitely lacks, and I feel like I want to implement that in my case with the government I will run when I become president.
Okay. Is that all you have to say, Sky, or is there?
With that being
more?
said,
Oh.
yes, while it may have been agreed upon, I am now saying that, much like you just said, it is up to us to fix our mistakes. Proper punishments. I don't think death should be a thing for a minor thing like theft.
Mhm.
Maybe even proper ways of
Yes.
as well taking care of the inmates.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see. Will that be all?
Yeah, sounds about it.
Okay. Chris, your turn.
Give me a moment. My brain's kind of trying to flip something right now, so give it a moment. Here, can I get to my projects after I say this real quick?
Of course. Go ahead.
Okay, so on the topic of the punishments, I do remember that the death punishment was technically agreed upon, but while we were waiting for the inmate who we did not know was justice at that point, but we kind of were thinking it, a lot of everyone was either silent or confused, or that was the main two things. A lot of people were not actually agreeing on death. I think the only one who actually said that the punishment was death was Phone.
Yes,
I'll
but
have you know that was agreed upon if there was resistance. But
Oh, I see.
regardless,
So is that the one?
That-
Wait, was that the meeting I wasn't at?
I think
were
that
at
might
that
have been
one.
It's fine. Look,
I don't think I was
what
at the one where the
happened
death
was-
was agreed on. All right. Either way, either way, during the trial, a lot of people were either confused or just very quiet on that one. But on another topic, because that was stuck in my head. Sorry. Projects. Oh wait, what is it?
Chris, before you proceed, actually, I have a question to ask you. Since you asked me, can I ask you something?
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm good.
You said that nobody accepted the form of punishment being death, right?
I think so.
Nobody. Yes, but at the same time, nobody denied it either.
Yeah, you are
That's
right on that
true.
one. That.
Nobody
Yeah,
said no, besides
Yeah.
me.
yeah.
I don't know about anybody else though.
People probably said no in their heads, but as I said, a lot of people were very
Yes,
quiet.
but why not verbally stated?
I can
What's
agree with the
wrong?
confusion. I definitely heard some people not wanting to accept this factor, but the fact that there was no speaking up means that people were sold.
Yeah.
Or
it's just,
if they weren't, then
Convinced.
well, I'd be a dead man right now.
yeah. So, yeah, you're right on that one, Yuki. Yeah. Anything else before I
No,
get to
nothing.
my project
That's
thing?
no, that's it. That's it. That'll
Alright.
be all. Thank you.
If I could,
Alright. Oh, what is it?
I can tell you why I wouldn't have objected at the time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times when I'm in those meetings with you guys, it feels like I should not be speaking. It feels like there's no opportunity, if that's a good way to put it. As someone who sits in the gallery, it is a bit harder for people to hear you.
There's not that many people living in this world, Sky. If you had something to say to every single one of us, you could have just said it.
We had a podium as well for a reason.
There's a podium for those reasons. Have you ever seen a Supreme Court meeting room or a courtroom or something like that? That's what those are for. Those are for people to address concerns, issues, and then the table decides, you know what, we'll either take this into consideration or we'll throw it off the table.
And yet I see very few people use it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's time we teach them how to use it.
Agreed.
I mean, after all, everybody is still wondering where everyone is at. I don't see New York City anymore. I don't see Chicago. I don't see anything. A lot of people are wanting answers, and that's one thing I want to do with one of my projects. I want to take that mansion that we took from those wicked illagers, and I want to transform that into a research
The
center.
research center.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you had the same idea as me.
Because I'm thinking if we're going to get down to the bottom of all these questions and what we can expand our knowledge upon, I think that's the place to start. We get rid of everything that was in there that was meant for evil, and we actually use it for good. Because, well, there's still more to that mansion than meets the eye. And, well, whether people like to agree with it or not, I've actually already started establishing it.
That's what you were doing.
Bentley and a certain division of villagers here in the European continents have already been at work. And as far as I'm concerned, they've actually shown me a sketch of what they're doing, and it's quite impressive.
Yes, they actually had to show me the blueprints of the new design. It's actually
It
pretty
took a
impressive.
lot of convincing, it really did, because I didn't want to go up to them and say, hey, I need you to go to a place in which your people were taken to for experiments and then revamp it. I explained what I wanted from them and how they would get repaid and all of it, and that they were safe now. I mean, after all, we saved them.
I'm assuming they managed to deliver their promise with the image on the blueprint.
And I made sure to scale that mansion myself as well and make sure every single one of those corpses were gone. Because we don't need a reminder of what happened that day. We don't need a reminder of all the wicked things that we have seen. I'm sorry if that was too much.
No,
Fine.
you have a point.
Quite all right.
Chris, continue.
All right. All right. I keep to my projects. All right.
Yes.
So I do think. So I do think from the projects I would do, number one, one of the things I would do, like I would do my own projects, and then also, people could ask for their projects to be implemented, and I could just approve them and then give them the resources to implement it. So basically, my idea would be, for example, if I was president and Justice, for example, needed to get the research thing approved, I would just approve him, give him the resources to do it, and then he could just be on his way.
But how about aiding them instead?
Oh, I would definitely aid them. That's part of the resources.
No, I mean, oh, okay.
That's
So
part of the resources.
you'll personally assist them with the resources? That's
Yes.
cool. That's cool. Yeah.
Interesting plan.
So basically, it'd be like kind of like a helping system in a sense, where basically, while I'm still on the seat, other people can still come to me for their ideas, and then all I have to do is approve, and then I get the resource going. And now, for my own, just because that's one of my bigger projects, but my smaller one. So, on the topic that I left off on last time of basically giving the villagers who lost their parents to the illagers homes, it would be a system of basically we try and get villagers to take them in rather than the orphanage system from the last world that was not a good one. Anyway,
The foster system.
yes.
Oh.
Interesting.
And those are my projects.
Alrighty, thank you for sharing them. Justice, your turn.
Well, I kind of already said one of my main projects, and I'm sure I've already revealed the whole project of establishing order, so you can go ahead and skip over me.
Allison.
Allie?
Allie,
Allie.
you
Allie?
good? You good? You good, Allie?
Is she? Did she
think she
pass
broke.
out? Continue.
Old world stuff is you know, something that I've brought up consistently because it just makes sense to me to bring up these past concerns that I've had. Pretty much, how is the education system going to be dealt with? How will like people legitimately going to school be dealt with? And what will the punishment system be like? Like, what's your ideas for that?
Oh, so
specifically?
2 in 1. I see. So the school system and the punishment system, I'm guessing is what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
I will answer that. So the school system. Actually, I'm in the process of making a library. That way, if they need any references, then they can just get it from the library. But I can see what your concern is. We don't have teachers at the moment. Well, considering that we don't, I would personally actually train them, actually. I would probably personally train teachers in order for them to be qualified enough to teach the villagers. Probably spread it to a few villagers, then they could spread it to more villagers.
I mainly meant like for underaged people in the actual
Underage.
world, like not the
Ah, like,
villagers, since you've already brought that up.
Like
oh, you mean
children.
just us in general?
Yes,
Children
like
in general.
like Noi
Like Noi.
and me. Yeah.
Alright. Actually, Noi, in terms of teaching you,
Hmm?
remember I read to you every night?
Yeah.
And if there's unfamiliar terms, I just, yeah? That's basically what that I would do. That's what the library was actually for, so that I can teach my child over here, as well as probably every single age group that, you know, he's in. Everybody in that age group is in, to actually, you know, perhaps get the joy of reading again. You know, that's why, and I'm personally, actually, I'm going to be the one to write the stuff in the book. Particularly mythos, and I will even probably ask a bunch of people who have professions in order to contribute to some knowledge and whatnot. But
Interesting.
at the same time, the next one, what was the next question again? Can you
It
remember?
involved punishment.
Punishment system.
Punishment system.
Yeah.
Well, as I mentioned before, I'm thinking of making 3 divisions of the government: the legislative, judiciary, and the executive. Obviously, you know which ones do which. I want the 3 of those divisions to actually sign the heads of each of those 3 divisions to sign a protocol that we not really a protocol, but a punishment for a particular criminal. That way, if it is agreed upon by the majority, then it will be submitted. But I feel like even at least one who would disagree with the punishment, that should be investigated, yes, in order, and that would mean that because of that, we would have to compromise on a particular better punishment as less or more. So I feel like if I become the New World President, I would actually talk with the council in regards to planning proper proper punishment protocols. I'm apologizing. Sorry. But yeah, I would like to discuss with the council if I become the New World President on proper punishment protocols in order for it to be same as minor as the crime and as major as the crime. Yeah.
That goes with school punishments, right?
Yeah, school punishments as well.
All right, just making sure.
Yeah, no, school in the old world was a nightmare. I've been
You could
dress
say
coded
that
over my
again.
shoulders.
Education is
the most scandalous
education of
shoulders.
yeah, and education is obviously important because of the lesser generation. I do want better education for my son, so
No,
as well as everybody else that's in their age group. But thank you for the question.
So, Yuki, I do have a question about the school
Mhm.
system part. I agree completely on the punishment one. So like your idea is like the book thing, but like what would you do for like probably the subjects that can't really be like taught through a book and are more of like not book related?
Oh, okay. I believe that would be on the form of a hands-on approach.
Mm-hmm.
You know how back in the old days we would have some subjects where it would require you to be a little more hands-on, like let's say home economics,
Chemistry.
chemistry, biology, sometimes biology. I would implement a hands-on approach. You know, experience is the best teacher after all.
Yep. All right. I was just wondering. All right, we're good.
Interesting. Is that all?
Yeah, that's all.
Alrighty. Sky, your turn.
Alright, I'm sorry, Lily. I did not hear the first half of that. I
It's
could only hear
alright.
the latter half.
What are you going to do for a school system? Like, what would your ideas for rules be, or something like how students would be taught? Not the villagers, other people, like other
Like the
people,
young ones.
villagers. Yes, like me or Noi or anything.
Right. Well, personally, I've been working towards setting up a school in Orlade. That's just a personal project of mine. But I agree with you that school in the old world was an absolute nightmare. And there definitely do need to be changes. As for what those changes are, I will be completely honest with you, I am not 100% sure yet. That would be a thing I would love to look into. I will tell you that. And the other half of that was punishment, correct?
Yes.
As I said earlier, proper punishments for the proper crime. And those would need to be discussed among groups. I'm sorry, my brain just stopped there for a second.
You're good.
It's okay.
Yes, those would need to be discussed among groups. Something like what we do now with the meetings, but with set standards and regulations. For example, the exile of Danny, that would be something I would like to undo.
Huh.
And
Oh, wait, hang on a second.
What?
Hang on a second. Hang on a second. I would like to ask, why would you want to undo that punishment? I feel like that's appropriate.
made it clear from the start I do not agree.
Why? How come?
It feels like a bit much. I understand what he was accused of and what
You mean
happened.
where he almost sent a man to die?
Yes, I understand, but
Now here's the thing. Now here's what I don't understand, okay? And I want you to clarify something with me.
sure.
So you mean that it's okay to send Justin to his death, but it's not okay for a minor 3-month banishment for Danny? For
I never said it was okay to send a man to his death.
you're implying that right now, Sky.
That's exactly what you're implying.
It is.
So you're saying that a minor 3-month banishment for a person who wasted all our time, almost put a man to death for flimsy evidence and evidence that hasn't even been collected, by the way. And it's not even collected because there was no evidence, there was no crime in the first place. So you mean to tell me that a boy who cried wolf has the worst punishment in the world already for a crime that he committed, but it's not bad for somebody who was falsely accused for committing theft for death?
Who was proven innocent.
Yes, who was proven innocent by my help, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
And where was the defense for Danny?
He didn't want
He
a
didn't need
defense.
one.
He didn't want a defense, Sky, and you of all people should know that. You're the closest to him. He wanted to represent himself, and only himself. You come onto this stage and you tell all these people that a 3-month banishment period is too harsh. That's like giving a terrorist a slap on the wrist. You understand that I could not be standing here right now if it wasn't for my sister. I cannot. Wow. A 3-month banishment period. We could have put him under house arrest. We could have done what they did to me, but no. I guess you just truly haven't seen what you see through my eyes, because where were you when Grimes was throwing me into a cell and not feeding me and yelling at me and cursing at me? Where were you?
Where was I?
Nowhere.
I was trying, Justin. Do you know how Grimes is? I could not get past that man if I had tried.
He is one man. You are a smith. You are a toolsmith. You create weapons. You have to have some meat on your bones. One guy told you to malnourish another man, and you just sat there. You sat there and you took it.
And if I have to be honest, when it comes to being a president, you have to have some backbone to say stop.
Mm-hmm.
I scoured the earth looking for my son, and then he almost puts me to my own death. And you think that's okay? You think banishment is revoking banishment is the solving point of all your problems? No, there's a problem. The first part about seeing that there's a problem is noticing that there is one. And to solve one, you need to notice that there is a problem. And there's a very big problem.
That's what
I've already reassured Justice as well that Danny will be properly taken care of as he's being escorted, and I'm pretty sure. And we're not sending him to an unknown place. That's why I'm sending him to Antarctica. That's why we're sending him to Antarctica. Sorry, because Chris is there, and so is his brother. He'll be in good hands, and I'm pretty sure. And tell me, Chris, right now. Your place, how is it? Flourishing? Homey,
It's pretty nice.
isn't it?
We have a base near one area, and then we have an actual village.
See?
So
We're not sending him to the Antarctic to freeze to death. We're sending him there so he can perhaps, learn a few things. Maybe reflect on his actions. Give him some space. Because I feel like that's something that boy needs right now. He's not even going to be alone with strangers. I'm bringing him to his brother. We're just bringing him to his brother. And I've already reassured Justice that I would take care of it personally and help him on that cruise, because he needs a family member most of all.
yeah, and also Sky, just so everyone here knows my side on this. I completely agree with the banishment, and and if I had the option, and if you were trying to get that undone in a meeting, I would so verbally go against it, especially since I think Justice can attest to this. After the trial, I was a person who suggested banishment. I suggested it.
A lot.
Yes, actually, he was the one that came up to us.
So yeah.
One of those, actually.
Okay. Shall we continue?
I believe that would be the best approach, actually, Ali.
Mm-hmm.
Where were we?
We were at me, I think. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
Go ahead, Chris.
All right. Punishment system. I completely agree with Yuki. I don't have anything against it. I agree with almost every part of Yuki's. And for the school system, I also agree with Yuki's. And Sky's as well. Probably get like an actual building for it, slightly. And then, but with mine, I would have the school system be a little bit very different. For example, I would completely throw out every single subject that's not needed from the old world school. Like they taught so many useless subjects. Like who's ever gonna need trigonometry? Or like who?
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
Who needs sophomore geometry? Anyways. Okay, there's probably a few subjects that might be slightly needed, but like you don't need to learn an entire year of it. on another topic, and I would actually let the students kind of choose like which subjects like aren't really needed, but like
Oh,
which
yes, of
useful to
course.
have.
Like college.
So like, I basically have school just be college because it works.
Ah, I see. Okay. Thank you for your answer.
Feasible.
Will that be all?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Justice, your turn.
I agree with my sister and, well, Chris's statements. Obviously, people should have a right to choose whatever they want to learn and also be given what's necessary, such as counting, that's for sure. And as for punishments, schools and out of school, if someone breaks the rules, they have to be punished.
Mm-hmm.
Regarding punishment, though, I could get into details on major or minor punishments, but I think I'll leave that up for interpretation. I think it's pretty well said nowadays that punishment is unfair and unjust for certain situations, that is, and then there is some fairness in there and it keeps clashing together. So yeah, the system's pretty broken. There's a lot of fixing that needs to be done.
Alrighty. Well, that's your answers. I'm guessing no one else has any more questions, I believe. No.
I think this is where we end it.
Yeah. Thank you all
That's good, by the way.
for the questions, and give a round of applause to the candidates. They did an amazing job. So I guess I will give the mic to Justice. right?
Yeah, you're good.
Alright.
You're fine.
You're good. Thank you, Allie.
You did great, Allie.
Thank you.
All right. So that was the debate. Again, sometimes they can get pushy, but don't worry, that's the joy of it. At least we didn't have the old world debates where it gets quite
Personal.
intense. So now, after the debate, it's finally time to decide who becomes New World President. Every single person in their seats, in the back over there I can see, and definitely on the rooftops, is gonna go ahead and vote for whoever they want. And the way we're gonna do this is at the town hall. There is a voting booth, and everyone's gonna get in line, one at a time in the room. Make sure to read over the rules. There will be a voting moderator there to prevent any rigging, so don't even try it. And you'll be able to vote whoever you want to see in office. You got Yuki of Azure, Sky of Balance, Chris as Cercio, and me as Ordo. So we're gonna go ahead and go do that right now. So everybody head to the town hall.
All right.
Okay.
Brother, you forgot to turn off the mic.
Sorry.
It's alright. Come on, let's go.
This level